All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Onward VRML, and we're here. We're made it. Snooper, we've done it. We've come to the final round of the Group A Challenger Cup. If you take a look at your the standings on the screen there, you'll see a little bit of what we've got coming up. We have got Aimless Gaming, who is taking on the second place Dead Logic. Now, the standings have not refreshed yet, so we'll have to get those fixed. But it is Aimless Gaming versus Dead Logic, as you see at the top of your screen. ALG is home, Dead Logic is away, and the map choice, as you can see, I've already pre-selected it for us, is Subway. So, Snooper, what are your thoughts on Subway and these two teams being our Group A top contenders? Currently, they're both 3-0.
Well, there is a bit of a point difference on the overall points they've gained over this Challenger Cup. Aimless Gaming with 12 points and Dead Logic with 10. So that sort of shows a bit of a difference and will definitely help Aimless Gaming in the end. But these are teams full of very, very good veterans. Soda, Malmaster, Sir Cookie Noob, I mean, all of them have been playing for seasons on seasons on seasons, and it's no surprise to see them at the top right now. Bert, undefeated. Both teams. So honestly, this is another, it could go either way. I like to sort of put my chips on Captain Soda though, because I've seen how lethal he can be, especially on the Subway. So I guess Aimless Gaming is where I'd put my points. But Dead Logic is equally lethal, and if they can pull it off, I wouldn't be surprised.
Interesting call. Yeah, I would be hard pressed to choose a winner here if you forced me to. I mean, obviously both teams have been playing top form today. We heard, Dead Logic is one of the call outs for a potential winner. I believe Wookie was the one who had given them a bit of a shout out there in our pre-show. So definitely not a shock to see them up at the top here at the finals of the day. But ALG, no slouches. Captain Soda, definitely a veteran. C-Quick, Nardu, Fume, John CZ, all players we have seen do some great stuff throughout the season. So I am pretty stoked to get this matchup going. And Subway as the choice of map. This is the first time we're seeing Subway today as the map choice. And, it's the second night map, or, well, I suppose it comes baked in as a night map, but we've seen Suburbia night and now this Subway map at night. I mean, what do you think is because they've been playing, I think, mostly day maps as far as I've seen. This is a bit of a curveball. What are your thoughts on Subway as a whole and how these teams are going to stack up on it?
Subway is a map full of tight corners, long hallways, and just narrow places to go. So it really comes down to ambush points, making sure your team can effectively, if you're on offense, move to the objective, which sometimes is very hard considering where the defense likes to pick out places to stop that from happening. But if the defense spreads out too much, it's also very hard to get back to the objective, so you generally want to play it tight on defense. And I mean, these are veterans on veterans on veterans, so they know that. I mean, we don't have to remind them of how to play Subway. They've played Subway all the way back in the day when there was only 2 stairs down to this middle section, so they're very practiced. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, Subways it has become more and more interesting as time went on, and I think it was played quite heavily this season. It was one of those maps that when we started season 10, we started seeing a lot of Subways being played in the casted matches, especially. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what has attracted people to it, because like you said, it used to be a map that had, 2 very strong choke points. And realistically, it still has, 3 choke points. But there are some additional stairs. There's a lot more cover for the defense to hide in. There's a lot more opportunity for flanks. And I guess people just got excited about the opportunity to sort of, take a random stab at 5 or 6 different doorways. And it really opened up the map to some really solid competitive play. And it's a map I think we've seen a lot of. It's, I think what's missing right now is obviously, smokes are not in play still. They are not sanctioned for league play. And smokes on Subway were a pretty big deal. We saw a lot of caps and smokes in previous postseasons. An Animal House cap comes to mind from a season or 2 ago. And we've seen Boss Fight utilize smokes well in here. So it's an interesting map to play now that you kind of have to play it quicker using the flashbangs and stuff. But, you know, C4s are also out. And both of those were so strong on this map that it has shifted the meta quite a bit. And I'm interested to see how both of these teams approach this map. You know, it's really anybody's guess. We are going to let them know that we are ready to kick things off. And hopefully they will start things up pretty quickly here for the final matchup. But I do want to see in the chat everybody's predictions for who you think is going to take the series. It's a point differential of 2 points between these two teams. So not too massive. And I feel like it really can be a coin flip. So I do want to see what everybody thinks in the old chatteroo. Let us know what you're thinking. And in the meantime, we're going to get these teams light a fire under their tushies and get them going.
Here we go.
There it is. They are ready for it. They heard me. They heard the threats coming from the casters, and they knew we were serious about it. So, Aimless Gaming on the offense. Dead Logic on the defense. No overlays up for this one.
Definitely no overlays. Let's make sure we see every round crystal clear. But we can obviously see that Dead Logic's very happy. They're laughing. They're pointing out places they need to be, but they seem to be in a great mood. Obviously, after 3 wins in the Challenger Cup, I mean, they're what, 1 map away from a pretty big prize pool, and that's got to feel good.
Yeah, they are, well, from the chance at a prize pool. This is the beginning of the road for these Challenger Cup winners. They still got to beat the winners of Group B tomorrow to secure their spot as the 8th rank inside of the round robins, which are next weekend. That is a multi-day event where Group A and Group B duke it out on Saturday and Sunday, similar to this format. And then those will decide the 4 moving on to the semis and finals the week after. So, whole lot of work happening. Sir Cookie Noob tosses the flash out off of Fume's grenade that he had tossed. The pistol does not work out. Fume with a nice block on that frag. What a fantastic play to stay alive. Soda, meanwhile, pushing on the outside, is able to ambush Cookie Noob and clear this corridor. Let's take a quick look at that. Really nice flash response on that, and Fume ducking that frag.
Cookie Noob was in a bad position regardless. He was getting pincered from both sides in a hallway, as we were seeing, and ALG took advantage of that. They effectively confused him.
Novius does take damage there. Body part exposed. No trades come out, so it is just ALG's 5 versus Dead Logic's down to 4. They've got 3 downstairs on the OBJ. Hitman stacked up top, and we're going to check in with him and see what's going on. We're not fast enough because Nardu knocks him out before we can even get there. Quick and Nardu now have the entire upstairs available to them.
Flash grenade goes into the hallway. Definitely a bit of a curious defense from Dead Logic. They were a bit spread out, not impossibly spread out, nothing that I'd say you shouldn't be doing, but on this objective, you really want to castle up on this bottom floor and just let them come to you.
Novius is going to have a lot of trouble here. Fume ready to go with that pistol, waiting for the corner here. John CZ, meanwhile, nabs Moa Master, who tries to come in and help the pinned Novius. Now Dead Logic just down to 2.
I mean, they're not in a terrible position, but Novius is no cover where he's at, and he's fighting a shield player. So if John CZ finds an angle on Novius, which he definitely... Oh, and he backs out. So I guess Novius is spared from John CZ's angles.
Pressure coming in on all sides right now. Fume not quite hitting these shots onto Novius. Now, if Furious Daddy just like rushed up the stairs, he could nab 2 kills so quick. It's one of those things that you would never do, right? As a defender, you know, playing the game, you cannot do it. But we as casters can see like, oh man, if he had just run up those stairs and peeked, an easy 2 kills upstairs as they're not paying attention. They're all stacked up on this southern side.
It's all going to slow down now because ALG knows they generally only have 2 people. I believe they have an accurate kill count. So, I mean, they can just slowly move up on this defense. Obviously, they got a minute and 25 seconds left, so that's something they have to be concerned about. But they're not in any rush right now. They don't need to be pushing forward too hard. They know where Novius is. They don't know where Fury's daddy is, and that's why they're being a bit cautious.
Novius forced to peek out there, and the assist from John CZ. Clean up, and he's the last one. I mean, this is it.
Yeah, and he has an interesting decision. Does he try and defend the objective from 5 players, or does he purposely get himself killed before the captain comes out?
He's got
Granted.
Ooh, the flash comes out. He's not ready for it. He's got the gun in hand, but he just has to panic fire as the sweep from ALG comes in, and they grab themselves round 1 in a commanding fashion.
Yes, that was a solid ace right there from ALG. No deaths, no downs, just casually, slowly, and methodically dismantling that defense on one of the hardest defensive positions on Subway, mind you. There's only 3 ways down to that objective, and they successfully used that one push through the tunnels to take out most of Dead Logic's defense.
Yeah, this is what we expect to see at the top here. I expect to see Dead Logic pull off something very, very similar. I don't think they're gonna take this lying down. Yes, ALG had a very good sweep, but it's still just round 1. I think there's gonna be a lot more excitement here to come in this next round. Now that they're swapping sides, I don't know. As a player yourself, Snooper, I'm curious what you think about this objective, because this is one of those unique objectives in Subway, because it's the only one in that sub-basement location. What do you think is the best approach to this? Like, if you were a team captain in a theoretical sense, what kind of play do you think would work for this? I mean, obviously ALG's there worked out quite nicely. Is that sort of the way you would have gone?
Well, before, I really don't like going through the tunnels. There's a lot of risk going through there, especially when it comes to explosives and flash grenades. And we saw that happen there a little bit. A lot of flashes going out, but they weren't very effective at taking down ALG's push. But I've actually kind of noticed the stairway closest to the tunnels is actually a really good entrance to this objective. You don't see a lot of the defense stacking up and defending that one. You might have 1 or 2 people making sure it's there, but it's not as hard as, say, coming out of the tunnels and facing, essentially, if a team castles up on this bottom floor, you're facing 5 people, all with their guns essentially aimed at you. Now, it's kind of the same with the tunnels, but you got that little lip there. On the stairs, I mean. You got that little lip there to protect your entrance. So you can come in, take out the 1 or 2 people defending the tunnel and that little stairway, and then slowly start methodically taking out the rest of them that are scattered about. And you sort of divide and conquer there. And here we are coming into round 2.
Let's see what ALG's got defensively, if they've got the chops to continue their march here into a 2-0 lead, or if they're going to be unseated by Dead Logic, and if they can even things out a little bit. So we will see here as the round kicks off.
Got it.
So interested to see what kind of defensive setup we're going to see from ALG, because obviously the Dead Logic one was very stacked, heavily on the downstairs. They had 3-4 in the basement. Actually, 4 in the basement. I think only 1 upstairs. It looks like Dead Logic opting for 2 on the south stairs, and then 3 heading through that sub-basement area. I'm going to check in with John CZ here, who is exactly in the spot where that gunfire was coming.
Ooh.
Does manage to get tagged a little bit there. Novius, I think, with that shield, ended up landing a shot, and now John's got to sort of rotate around. He doesn't know. Are they going to come from just one hallway, or are they coming from both? He opts to not find out as he pushes back towards the subway entrance, and now Cookie Noob and Novius here have basically free reign.
Free reign, but John did take some shots at him, and that gives you some thought of, is he still there? Is he not still there? And John did the right thing, pulling back to a more defensive position, realizing the fight was not worth holding the corner, and he moved off. He's in a much better spot to get the pick. Not to mention, Dead Logic now has to negotiate whether he's there or not, or whether he has friends that are there or not. So this is often the right decision in my opinion. Retreating to a safer place. Obviously, you need to do it in a way that you don't get shot, but John CZ did that pretty well.
John now waiting in ambush. Gotta think he's got some sort of a plan. I think he's listening for comms, trying to get an idea of when they're coming through.
Ooh. Some intimidation fire. He's not there to kill anyone or disable anyone. He's there to just make them think, slow them down. Because what you really want to do on this objective is make them slow them down enough so that they're down to the last 30 seconds. They hear that beep. They're like, oh, God, we got to now take this whole platform with hopefully as much of your team members left up as possible in 20, 30 seconds. And that's not a push any team wants to do, even with 5 people left up on the Marsoc side.
Check in with the upstairs folks. Furious Daddy here and Hitman both trying to sweep the upstairs. They will have to deal with Seaquick relatively soon. He decides to peek, but that's Dead Logic just taking a couple little pot shots out towards that lane 1 area, and we'll see if this pans out for Novius. Captain Soda does manage to spot out Furious Daddy on the upstairs inside of that subway, and that's that peak that I was talking about in that last round, where that defender can come up and sweep those stairs. Captain Soda obviously aware of that position, and here's John CZ and Novius just back and forth, little peak battles here.
It's a rough place to try and kill a defender, because not only does and as I say that, John CZ gets shot through the bars. He didn't get the protection from his teammates or that column that he was hoping for, and they confirmed the kill.
Quick does find the other one upstairs, so now it's the 3 in the basement versus the 3 in the basement for the defense, as well as Seaquick upstairs, who would need to rotate if something goes horribly wrong for ALG, but right now, it's like the defense is relatively stacked up. That is a drone being knocked out. A Volk drone was sitting right there. You can see it on your screen.
They're getting a lot of information, and they're communicating that well. And there's a question as to whether ALG has an accurate kill count, because if they did, I believe Seaquick would be running down either for the flank or just to support his teammates down on the lower platform.
They have been ready for the flank, though. I saw Sir Cookie sitting back there in the tunnel, just waiting for somebody to come around behind. Frag just doesn't go quite far enough. That could have been dangerous for Fume, but he rotates out. He does catch a bullet. And now he's got to be forced through there. Seaquick rotating over the top. He could get behind Cookie Noob and Novius here if they're not prepared for it. Oh, he's going to opt. No, he is coming up. He's going to come around the other side. Novius finds Fume on the inside. There goes Captain Soda as well. But Seaquick's on the backside. He finds one. Is he going to find all 3? He finds 2. Sir Cookie Noob's the last. And there it is. Seaquick with a fantastic flank to seal the deal for ALG.
Came to save the day at the last moment, and he did it perfectly. That was a beautiful push, though, with the shield. Nice distraction. They were just systematically dismantling the defense there, and if it wasn't for that flank, I'm pretty sure they would have had it. But Seaquick, realizing his teammates were in trouble, ran down into the middle stairs behind the gunfire and successfully eliminated 1, 2, 3 members and took the win.
Take a look at that in full screen replay here and see what that looked like. Yeah, great heads-up rotation. Finds the one on the track, finds the shield, and then Cookie Noob a little too slow to react there to defend his teammates, and that will bring ALG up to a 2-0 score. A nice little hold there, and I mean, really, it hinged on that Seaquick flank working out, and that really, it was that perfect storm, because had he come down just a little earlier, he could have been caught out in front of that shield. He could have been caught out in front of Sir Cookie Noob's gun. But just that extra bit of time helping him seal the deal. A fantastic play here. Now Dead Logic down 2 points. They're going on to the defense. It's not over yet. Okay, we saw a 1-3 comeback, potential complete turnaround already with the Riot game earlier. I don't know. I'm not going to count Dead Logic out until that score has a 4 or a 5 in it somewhere. So we'll see what happens here in this next round.
Normally, this is the time where I say the winning team, might get into their heads and that they're winning and they're having a good time and they loosen up. But I know most of the people on ALG. I know that they don't stop playing serious until the game's over. So Deadlogic's got a big job ahead of them, even on defense, to pull back up and basically close the gap point-wise.
And we'll see how this shakes out. It looks like they're sending 4 downstairs and 1 upstairs, shield going up to those south stairs. And let's check in with our defense here.
Oh. I'm watching the Marsoc through the walls as they do a 4-man push through the tunnels. Soda's gonna break off and try and hit the, I guess, stairwell up to the middle section, slowly and methodically with Nardu. But this is an interesting spread, especially how Fume slowed down. And I'm curious as to whether they're gonna try and sync this up in some way.
Oh no, John CZ. The communication breakdown finds an unfortunate team kill there in the basements, and that's going to give Furia's daddy some intel to pass along to the team, as we heard there.
Maybe it's some next level 4D strat where he wanted the gear. I don't know. But we're going to chalk that up to a team kill and just the nerves.
Oh, nerves are going full bore. I mean, you know, I think we've both been in a Challenger Cup situation, Snooper. We know exactly what the fatigue can do to you and how much stress you're feeling at this stage. I mean, especially with so many prizes on the line. Nardu here popping out over the corner, but Moa Master playing the patient game.
You definitely see this still coming out very well for ALG, especially with the way they're positioned. They seem to be coalescing a push. Granted, whether Moa Master sees or saw Nardu move out, that's an interesting question.
Nardu, I think, is hearing little bits and pieces of this audio, but the sound of the uplink is enough to sort of drown out what's happening with Moa Master's equipment.
Oh, okay. Nardu has been...
Oh my goodness, and he finds 2.
And that's what playing for multiple seasons and Onward does. You get that nice twitch shot, and Nardu is just going out all out. Novius picks up John CC and Soda, and Sir Cookie with Fume. It's all down to Nardu now.
One on the south platform.
Oh, and now he realizes he's the only one left.
This is do or die now, but plenty of time to do it. And let's take a look at his previous success. As he finds one, rotates Moa Master, finally opting to peek out in that hallway, and just at the wrong time, right into Nardu's line of sight there. What a play.
Yeah, I mean, I was convinced Master was going to take down Nardu as soon as he fired those first shots, but he waited, and that didn't pay off for him. What is Nardu gonna do? It's now a 1v3, and he's repositioning. He's gonna come down the south stairs, it appears, and whether Sir Cookie Noob's gonna hear his steps or not, that's an interesting question. Honestly, I hate going down the south stairs because it's very exposed unless you can duck into that little hallway closet pretty quickly, but it's gonna be interesting. Hitman's got a view on it.
All right, we're going to ride along with Nardu as he tries to clutch this round. 1v3. Minute and a half left.
Man, pulled back, so now he's behind the lip, and he no longer can see the south, and this is not going to be very good for the defense, considering Nardu can just waltz on out of there. Normally, Nardu would be tucked up, or not Nardu, Hitman would be tucked up next to this little platform red area where you can sort of move up and out, and you can see the south, you can see the tunnel, you have a wide view guarding the objective. But it seems like Deadlogic has limited their views, leaving Nardu relatively free to move out from the south stairs.
The peek there, not successful. Now Nardu has to challenge. He's gonna push the corner. The sweep works out. Cookie Noob goes down. 2 left. 45 seconds.
Now he knows Hitman's somewhere over there. Novius is moving up to try and support.
He got blinded there. He dropped to the ground and had to jump out of first person there. That flash worked out beautifully for Novius, and that's just the delay he needs. He needs to just keep him away from the objective. It's not even a question of does he need to kill him. There he is. He peeks out on Novius. Hitman tucked into the stairs there is looking for him, but Novius on the rush finds the pick, and Dead Logic get themselves on the board here with a 2-1 score. But that 2 is for ALG. They've still got a ways to go to bring it back here.
Yeah, once Nardu moved off the platform station into the rails, he was actually in a very, very forced position. He couldn't go back anymore. There was no ramps to get back over the lip. And so he had to move forward or fight from that little train car area. And he was running out of time. So he did what he could. He made it further than I thought he would, especially with two defenders looking exactly his way, knowing exactly where he was. He made it almost to the other railway, and that's impressive enough, but it wasn't enough to get anywhere near the objective or anywhere close enough to get the cap or even try and get an angle on Hitman. And so Nardu went down. But bravo for being last man standing and taking as many bodies as you can.
Yeah, he absolutely put in the maximum amount of effort there to try to get that win for ALG. And that's, you know, we've been seeing it. They have just been fighting tooth and nail for every corner. I mean, wherever they can, wherever it's an advantageous fight, they have been taking it. And it's really throwing Dead Logic off their rhythm. It seems like they're not prepared for this sort of, you know, aggressive Wolverine style play where they're just, they're hungry for every inch of this map. And it has been a great series so far. I don't know, Dead Logic came alive a good bit there. We'll see if they can carry that into their next Marsoc round and see what they can do on their approach here. These defensive positions have been great. The way that these teams have been fighting has been pretty fun to see. So let's see how that carries over into our next round.
Just a reminder, these teams have been playing for hours now, and fatigue will start setting in. If not, it's already set in. So
it's round 4. My apologies there on that transition. It is round 4.
You're going to get it just for saying that.
ALG still in relatively good spirits, even with the accidents that happened. So we'll see.
Can see all of Dead Logic, all 5. Just like you can't even read the names, all stacked up in that basement. They are going the basement route. Oh, was that a misfire on the gun? I think somebody just misfired their weapon.
I want to say it was Nardu though,
Okay.
but granted, on the defense it's not as bad. On Marsoc though, you generally do not want to fire before you get anywhere near the enemy. But even if you're close to the enemy, you want to make sure that first shot is either a kill or pinning someone down. If you fire on the approach, you're now just giving the defense information on where you're coming from, and you're running into essentially barrels aimed at you, and that's something you never, ever want to do. You want to catch them from the side, you want to catch them from the back, you want to catch them from an angle, but if you're fighting in a head-on fight, you're going to lose or trade, and that's never a good idea.
Yeah, so we can sort of see the spread there from Dead Logic. Down below in the basement, looks like they're going to try to come up these stairs in track 2, and the rest will head into the sub basement and come up these main stairs, which I do like. These are very strong stairs. The only problem is if you don't have somebody already sort of overwatching the area on the main platforms, you're coming up to a 360-degree kill zone. I mean, you can be shot from literally anywhere. So a very dangerous thing. It's going to rely on whether or not Cookie Noob and Novius can secure a little spot for themselves here on track 2.
Nardu is the only person relatively close to the objective. So does the next closest person and can definitely come help. But if those two get eliminated, that's a wide open space near the objective that Dead Logic can take advantage of. Whether they get the cap, whether they spread out and actually start defending the objective while ALG starts crashing in to try and defend it. It's not a good idea to be this far away from the objective. Granted, these are very, very veteran teams, so I don't want to second guess them. I assume ALG's got a great plan for coming in once they start losing people, if they do lose people.
Yeah, there are some interesting angles here for coverage, but there's not a heavy amount. I mean, Nardu's going to be able to spring a little surprise trap on whoever comes up this ramp.
Well, if Nardu misses it and Novius just sneaks in behind that column, that could be a sneak cap before anyone knows what's happening. And that's probably the most demoralizing way to get capped on is five of your defenders are still up, 5 of the enemies still up, and a cap happens. And
There's the
interesting
call out
retreat.
right there. Ooh, Cookie Noob finding the back of Novius there, but he does manage to nab John CZ, and Nardu with the team kill onto Soda as he rotates towards the objective. On Nardu's call out, Captain Soda rotates, but the team kill will come out. A dangerous push here as Seaquick on the basement finds Furious Daddy. Now Hitman's in trouble. They are duking it out down here.
I mean, it's rough to see 2 team kills in a Challenger Cup map. I mean, it's just painful because you never ever want that to happen, especially with a player as strong as Captain Soda. Losing them for a whole round. Oof.
Yeah, that is going to be a rough
They're pushing objective.
defense, but there is a 3-4 spread right now. The grenade coming out towards Nardu is good. A nice toss onto Novius, but Seaquick, nice on the refrag there.
He's in the training.
Quick goes down.
Looks like he goes down to a shooting himself situation. Master pushes the corner, and Sir Cookie Noob will secure that final kill onto Fume, and that is going to tie things up here for Dead Logic and ALG. It's a 2-2 scoreline.
I mean, a lot of really interesting interactions there, especially with a team kill. Seaquick somehow downing himself. I mean, it was an interesting, I guess, push from Dead Logic, but a lot of, I'm not going to call them mistakes, but errors from ALG just let Dead Logic take the round.
Yeah, I don't, there's so much heat going on, right? There's so much stuff happening around the map that it's hard to keep track of what's going on, but definitely the team kill from ALG may have been their undoing there. You never want to knock out one of your own team members, especially when the offense is starting to make their push towards the objective, and that is exactly what happened there. That is exactly what they did not need in that exact scenario, and it's cost them that point. So now we'll see. Dead Logic has tied things up here. I mean, said it right at the beginning. Hey, 2-0 is great, but you got to hold it for a good long time, and you can't be making team kill mistakes.
I'll take it.
Fortunately for ALG, this is a relatively easier objective to hit, especially since it's in that hallway, and you can essentially pinch the enemy team, or the defensive team, to the point where they have to keep rotating out to either defend the objective or just support their own teammates. So we'll see what happens. ALG can definitely take advantage of where this objective is. Whether they do so or not, we'll see. Fatigue is definitely setting in. We can definitely see that happening.
A really nice grenade toss there over the top. Will down Sir Cookie Noob, and Novius forced to push, try to get the res. Will get that kill as well, and that is 2 down at Flash. Nicely tossed, but just catches the corner, does not give him what he needs. Master is forced to push out towards the objective, but ALG already up 2 men here.
And another nade and a flashbang.
See if Master and Hitman can hold the objective, because if they disappear, it becomes a much harder defense for Furious Daddy. Not just because he's the last one up, but because he's getting hit from both sides, and he has to be on the objective at that point. If he's the only one left, he can't let them cap from around that corner, or even just, sitting on the objective.
We can't let that happen.
Yep, and Master just mentioned that. A nade goes out onto Master's position. He survives, but Hitman goes down to... Oh, and it's all down to Furious Daddy. This could be a cap.
This is it. This is ALG looking to close out the series, and there it is. The code is in. It's in fast and loose, and just like that, ALG snag the round out from under Dead Logic and secure their top spot here in Group A of the Challenger Cup.
I mean, that was a classic, 3-4 second soda cap, so you really need to be careful about letting a team as experienced as ALG getting anywhere near your objective, even for a small amount of time. And unfortunately, Dead Logic let that happen.
It did indeed, and that, that early aggressive push to the top of those stairs is always one that I don't know that I can ever get behind. I mean, it's just so dangerous to run out into what at this point you should know is going to be a bunch of, frags and flashes thrown over the wall. And especially with the game potentially on the line like that, a dangerous call to make, not paying off there for Dead Logic in the end. But ALG, a really nice sweep in the end there by C-Quick from the backside, finding the defenders in the back, forcing the hand of Moa Master to try to challenge the people around the wall. And there it is. The series is all wrapped up. Any final thoughts, Snooper, before we do our sign-offs for the day?
I mean, all the games we've cast have been emotional roller coasters, back and forth. Lots of drama going on, and tragedy and success. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better day of Onward, especially for the games we in particular cast. So bravo to all of our players and all of our teams. You guys fought hard and for quite a few hours. So keep it up, guys.
Absolutely. Well, that is going to do it for Group A Challenger Cup. Aimless Gaming is going to be the top-ranked team for this group stage. Tomorrow is Group B, where 23 teams, this was 18 today, so 23 teams tomorrow will be duking it out for that second slot in the Challenger Cup finals. Right now, it is going to be ALG versus the winner of Group B Challenger Cup tomorrow, scheduled sometime during the week, and that is fighting for the final 8th spot in the round robins to play for that $15,000 prize pool in the finals in 2 weeks. So, with that said, I would like to thank all of our sponsors, HyperX, Asterion, ProTube, Bhaptics, Fix Gaming, Rebuff Reality VR Cover, and ProTube VR. A big thank you to all of the viewers, everybody who came out today, all of the teams, all of the mods. This is a Herculean effort. It gets more and more difficult every season to run these smoothly and efficiently. We appreciate your patience through all the issues that we've had, and we're trying to make it smoother as we go. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the follows, the bits, the love, everything you guys have done. Hopefully we'll see you back again tomorrow in force. And until then, have yourselves a fantastic rest of your evening, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow.